bender behind the boards. Custom, ain't no heroes or role models where I'm from for us to follow where I'm from. Just some niggas throwing games.
Yes, IAMGAWD. I got Broden right here with me. Philmore Greene, you know what I'm talking about, Gold Standard Collective in the motherfucking building, K-Town in the building, Chicago definitely in this motherfucker. And bro graced me with his presence, you know what I'm saying, off one of the tracks off the upcoming project, The Eternal Reflection. Myself, custom made, producing, everything, Filthy Analytics went down with it. And that song is actually out right now. It's called From Chicago with Hate, featuring the homie Philmore Greene and the homie Skooda Chose. And just a little bit about that joint. The title, let's start with the title, From Chicago with Hate. I actually thought of that title, it was a movie from Somewhere with Love or something like that. And it's kind of like, not a greeting, but how you would end off a letter from so-and-so with love. You know what I'm saying, on some sincere type shit, showing sincerity. I wanted to flip that, you know what I'm saying, because Chicago, we got this stigma as being like haters, you know what I'm saying, within our own community. We got the stigma of hating each other, crabs in a bucket, crabs in a barrel type shit. So I wanted to kind of flip that on his head and just, you know what I'm saying, From Chicago with Hate. In my opinion, it's fitting. We show love. Don't get it fucked up. We show love, but when it comes to each other, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot of bickering, it's a lot of hateful shit back and forth. So I wanted to touch on that. And my perspective, you know what I'm saying, on the joint was coming from an internal perspective, how we treat each other. You know what I'm saying, how we look at one another. I say home of some of the most notable women and men to exist, but the only stars niggas on it here is the Fin and the Six. Like, that's real shit. Like, we don't give a fuck about who you is or what you is to a certain extent. Like, you can still catch your issue if motherfucker cold lacking out this motherfucker. Like, only thing motherfuckers really seem to care about is the shit that they represent. You know what I'm saying? The gang shit. You know what I'm saying? You just listen, look at or you hit our slang, our lingo on gang, on the guys. You know what I'm saying? On the Fin. You know what I'm saying? On folks, on phone now. You know what I'm saying? We put everything on the shit that we hold nearest to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my perspective from that shit was just analyzing the current situation and the situation historically in Chicago. Like, we always been a gangsta ass city. You know what I'm saying? There's always been organizations and factions that's really about that business. You know what I'm saying? It ain't never really not been that since before black gangs. It was the Italian motherfuckers, the Irish motherfuckers, whoever. Like, it's always been a gangsta ass city, but it's always been so much turmoil within the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was your process, your mental process when you first heard the track? How did you feel when you first heard the track, and how did you prepare yourself to go into that?
First of all, thanks for having me, bro.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my whole, for one, you know, when you first sent the record and we chopped it up and you told me what it was gonna be about, shit, you know, I respect your pen game. You know what I'm saying? I knew I had to take it there. You know what I'm saying? And when I heard the beat, I ain't even listen to your verse first. So that's the ill shit about it, because I think one bar we said like the same shit. The Six of the Fin. Mm-hmm. It's like, you can't come to Chicago without mentioning that. You know what I mean? Like, that's part of it all. You can't come to Chicago without mentioning the Six of the Fins.
Right.
So when I first heard your verse, when I finally listened to it, I had my shit written, and I knew, like, okay, this is gonna be one that people are gonna gravitate to, because especially if you from here, you know what we talking about. And my inspiration from the joint, it was like, when I write, I like to I think of movie scenes.
Exactly.
And I like to take people on that journey, whether I talk about some, you know, when I was young, I used to hoop for the Dome, Philly Ben killing. But when you ball, get you a gun to be like Ben Wilson, the pen drilling. You know what I'm saying? Fuck how out of towners view the shot. I'm out west where every conflict crucial was do or die. Just those bars gonna let a nigga know, like, man, these motherfuckers this some Chicago shit. So if you don't know, you never been here, you gonna go Google Ben Wilson and you're gonna see what it is, and drill, and you know, we could decode records all day, lyrics all day, but I was just inspired by the title, you know what I'm saying, From Chicago with Hate. And then I knew how you was coming Then you told me you was putting Chose on that, so it was like, okay, this is finna be one of them Chicago joints a lot of people really been wanting to hear for a long time.
Chose.
You know what I'm saying? Salute Chose. There's been a lot of, people been waiting on records like this. They've been waiting on me and Chose for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even got one record together, and this is the first record we have together. So I was just inspired by the title, how I knew you was about to come on the shit, and that made me push myself to go, okay, let me give this nigga one of those verses of the year. If you ask me,
to the occasion,
you know what I'm saying?
It wasn't no doubt in my mind that you was gonna have. Because my thing is, motherfuckers talk that shit in the raps, but I don't look at myself as above. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers, like, we all in this shit doing what we do, and I wouldn't have reached out if I definitely ain't feel like that you couldn't have added what I was hoping you was gonna add to the joint. So I don't even want to sit here and say you rose to the occasion, because I don't think it was. I mean, like the signature emoji you use is raising the bar. You know what I'm saying? Every time I hear you, it's that. So to me, you embody Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, this only makes sense. You know what I'm saying? To reach out and get Philly on the joint. So that's love, but it definitely wasn't no hoping you was gonna rise to the occasion. Like, I knew what I was gonna get from, in a sense, from you and Chose. Like, y'all Chicago as hell. Like, you got a project that I honor, you know what I'm saying, came out 2018, Third World City, Chicago, a Third World City to this day. Classic, you know what I'm saying? Like, classic. Like, I ain't trying to hear shit else. Chose, he just released the Wonder Years, what was that, 2019 or last year? Classic, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, y'all two motherfuckers is Chicago, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that shit was a no-brainer. The lineup wasn't hard to come up with at all, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I definitely, everything you said, like, it was like, I could see that shit. Like, the stanza you gave me is like, when I heard the verse and the Ben Wilson line, it's like, motherfuckers like don't be knowing, like, like, rest in peace Ben Wilson, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
and I
when
say that with no
Simeon's
disrespect either. You know what I'm saying? It's music. Sometimes you have to give people the harsh realities to let them know, like, this is what it is here. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas here don't give a fuck what you do. They don't give a fuck how good you are at something. They don't give a fuck, because it's like they feel like they could be that way, and it embodies the title from Chicago with hate. They probably love that nigga. You know what I'm saying? As far as hooping and but there's certain lines you don't cross, and that line embodies that. You know what I mean? Like, so I just had to clarify that, man. A lot of niggas gonna hear that, and rest in peace, Ben Wilson.
Speaking of Ben Wilson, you know what I'm saying, for those who don't know, like, super talented hooper back in, you know what I'm saying, the mid 80s.
Number one draft pick.
Yeah, he was definitely number one. I feel like that's where that's where this come from. You know what I'm saying? When, like, I watched a documentary a few years ago, and Ben went to some camp, and he had like the best high school players from around I don't know if it was I think it was from around the country. Like, from around the country. And every picture, like, he was holding up that one, because he knew, like, Buddy knew he was that one. Like, before, you know what I'm saying, Derrick Rose, like, that was gonna be our one. And it's crazy, they went to the same school, shout out Simeon. But for those who know, do your Googles, you know what I'm saying? But that's just a brief breakdown on who Ben Wilson is and was, you know what I'm saying? Like, definitely taken before his time, you know what I'm saying? Some tragic shit.
I think we brought Chicago out very well. We had to, that's another thing. Like, I knew I had to come with it as far as the city shit, But out of my whole life, I lived out south, 6-7 months?
Right.
So I had to bring out west. I had to take people on that ride again, you know what I'm saying? Like bring that funk. This is where I'm from, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Y'all getting bros perspectives, but this is how I vision it. You know what I'm saying? It's 3 movies on that one record, you know what I'm saying? And that's what makes it so dope. And I'm sure that's why it's the lead single.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
the perfect backdrop, like, to introduce what this project in totality is about. It's the perfect kickoff joint, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the perfect piece to send shit up with, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a perfect piece, because, I mean, from the cover to the title, I don't feel like I could have went in in a different direction and got a better, you know what I'm saying, rollout to kick shit off. You know what I'm saying? Like Chose, like he just came through and put the nail in the coffin. That nigga say I'm Chicago. It's grilled onions on that Jewtown Polish. If that ain't Chicago, that's some of the most Chicago shit ever. You know what I'm saying? Like we all talk about Harold's and Uncle Remus, but Jewtown don't get enough love. You know what I'm saying? Maxwell off Jewtown, out in Jewtown, like it don't get enough love. You know what I'm saying? Like just standout bars from standout motherfuckers. I wouldn't approach these brothers if I ain't feel like that they was gonna add what I needed to that joint, because I couldn't do it on my own. Me being from, I'm kind of in between. I'm from LeClaire Courts, AOC all motherfucking day. Y'all done heard me say it. Y'all done saw me throw this up before. Like
west south,
southwest, right?
In the middle.
It's like 15 minutes
Southwest.
away from Inglewood, which is south side, and it's like 10 minutes away from fucking Division and Roosevelt and all that, which is west side. So we right in the middle. So we had a lot of motherfuckers in the hood from out south, some from over east, and we had a lot of motherfuckers, even more motherfuckers who got ties out west. So I feel like I got all that shit.
Y'all in the middle.
You know what I'm saying? I got all that shit. So it's like, even though I consider myself, I guess, south side, because like even after motherfuckers start splintering off and moving out the hood or whatever, like folks ass was on 63rd and Halsted. Then he took it to 83rd and Racine. You know what I'm saying? Shout out my nigga GD Jeff. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my grandmother, they stayed, you know what I'm saying, out west, but I spent a lot of my time either in the hood or out south. You know what I'm saying? I even went to school. Shout out John Hope, 55th and Garfield. You know what I'm saying? 55th and Low. You know what I'm saying? That's right in the middle of No Love City in Motown. You know what I'm saying? Like Lamron, which we still called it normal back then, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like right in the backyard of Inglewood. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like this song is just basically our experiences, you know what I'm saying? What we lived, saw, you know what I'm saying, witnessed, just balled up into one. Like I love this song.
Like, everything about it is all facts too.
Exactly. This is one of them things where like motherfuckers ain't have to embellish nothing.
All facts.
Like facts. Like I don't think one line in this motherfucker was embellished. Like this is real truthful shit. Like from each verse, line for line. Like this shit right here is really even making me see the song in a different light.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know, you do your art how you view your art because you're an artist. You know what I'm saying? You putting your vision down. But being able to sit here and talk about it and explain it and express this shit, it put it in a different light, to give it a different meaning.
Yeah, I had to sum it up. And you know, when you sent it, I was, in my mind, I was expected to, you know, I wrote a 16, went back, put it on there, heard your shit. I'm like, oh shit, I can't just put a 16 of this. I can't. You came with like 20 something bars. I was like, fuck it, I gotta.
Long-winded out this.
Let me count his. I'm gonna match his. Put this shit back. Boom. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
But you know, I even took it back to what they used to call it back then. When you know, they used to say Chicago was the target market. You know, I started my verse with the Curse of Capone. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like this is what they used to call Chicago. They used to say we had a Curse of Capone. Like this city has so much. You know, it's hate, but it's also a lot of love here. You know what I mean?
Usual snakes, a beautiful place, Chi-Town's the greatest. That's why they hate us. But listen, nigga, do me this favor. Do me no favors, we major. League rounds open, a few rounds smoking. I'm Chicago.